Today's project involves installing this bathroom fan in our upstairs bathroom. You can see there's no fan at all. We do have the window, so oftentimes in the summer we'll open the window up just to get a little ventilation in here. But if you can see, the ceiling paint is in really rough shape from just years and years of high moisture conditions. And before we fix the ceiling, we want to make sure we fix the moisture problems. So we're going to be putting in this fan. I've done some measuring upstairs, and the attic is above us. And due to where the floor is and where the structure is and how everything is situated, I think the fan is going to go basically here. It's not necessarily the best location, but it's going to work, I think. That'll allow us to get the ducting out. It's going to go out that side wall over there, and there's power up there. This fan that we bought is a Panasonic. We've had these before. They're very nice. They're quiet. This particular one has a humidity sensor in it, so I don't need to run a switch. It'll turn itself on whenever the humidity gets above whatever set point we choose. So that's specifically why we chose that fan, because I didn't want to have to run power over to a switch here and deal with fishing wires into the wall, whatever. So we'll see what we can get done today. This area under here is where we're going to be installing the fan. You can see that's the main stack for the shower toilet right there. And there's already some floorboards missing here conveniently. I may cut a couple more out just to make this easier on me, but essentially it's going to be going right into this stud bay here. I think I want to put the vent like in this cavity right here. I got that insulation pulled back, kind of see what we're working with down here. So that's the top of the sheetrock right there. There's some strapping you can see they put in when they put in the sheetrock. We got some dead critters. I want to have the vent connection basically right here, and the power connection will be here, and actually the fan box is going to be this way underneath this floor. So I need to figure out where I'm going to mount it exactly, and then I'll drill holes down through the ceiling here, through that ceiling, so I can then cut out the hole from below. I pulled one piece of strapping out. It was just there, and you can see, I don't know if you can see all that dust and junk. This is actually the piece of wood that was in there, and you can see it's quite eaten up by bugs. That's all bug damage. I don't know how old this strapping is. Obviously the sheetrock is from 1968, but it's possible that strapping was there when this used to be a there was like lath and plaster attached to it. If the strapping is from 68 and it's that damaged, I'm a little concerned. If it's from earlier and it's that damaged, I'm less concerned, because we know there was a lot of bug damage, but it doesn't look like any recent activity. However, if that's in the last 50 years, that may be something we have to address. Good news, you can see those lines on that piece of board there. That's from the old plaster coming through the lath. So that is an old piece of strapping, and is no longer being eaten. So that's good. Glad to see that. So we're looking at the main vent stack. This is the vent at this point. Goes up through the roof right there. And I was looking at this piece here, and I couldn't figure out what this was. So pull that out. It's just a wooden peg that's been stuck in the vent pipe through this giant hole. I don't know why that hole is there, but I don't think that meets code. But we're not going to worry about it today. We'll just pop that back in. It literally just sits in there. It doesn't even seal, really. We'll deal with that another day. All right, there's 2 holes drilled through the sheetrock into the bathroom down below. So let's go down and see where those ended up. All right, I've got it marked out. That's the square I got to cut. I think the placement's actually pretty good. It's basically centered on the shower. So it's going to look visually centered that way. It's not directly over the toilet, so if it does drip condensation, it won't get on the user. The only downside, I guess, is it's kind of right where you'd be standing outside of the toilet or outside the shower, and I'm pretty tall, and the ceiling's pretty low, so I probably will hit my head on the ceiling grate. But I guess that's just something I'll learn to walk around, basically. So let me get that cut out. I was trying to catch it.
I really think about what would happen when it came down.
I guess I didn't catch it.
Maybe you did, but I haven't really seen that there. Oh, hello, attic.
We're going up. So I'm going to attach, this is the bracket for the fan. I'm going to be able to screw that right to that board there. But on the other side, I didn't realize this until just now, there's this 2x that's kind of here, but it stops. And then I got nothing to put this screw hole into. I think it might be okay, once we get everything attached. I don't think it's going anywhere. But that's a surprise. But it is an interesting opportunity to see what's in here. See, this is one of the old hand-hewn oak floor joists for the attic. And if I can get my light down there, you should be able to see the center beam over there at the end. Looks to be in pretty good shape. Obviously no insulation whatsoever in here. We are going to be filling this with cellulose, but that's to come at a later date. Anyways, let me get this bracket attached. Here's another problem. I just tried to put this screw here, that screw, tried to put that in, but you can see I tried to put it in the bottom of here, but it wasn't high enough. And there's, I don't know, 1.5 inches maybe from the top of the sheetrock to the bottom of that timber, and then plus the 1/2 inch of sheetrock. And these are the screws that they sent. Those are, I don't know, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. I don't think they're gonna reach through the sheetrock and then up into this metal bracket if I have it mounted way up where basically it needs to be. So I may have to put some framing in down lower, cut some 2x4s and kind of frame this in a little bit differently to make this work. Because nothing can ever be easy, I have to fill in the space where that board stops, and then I can put a new board in front of it that goes all the way down to the sheetrock. So I've got this rough cut piece of hemlock. That plus this 1/4 inch Luan is pretty close. It's a little bit narrower, but pretty close to the thickness of that board that was added on at some point. So I'm going to, I'm going to attach this somehow to that oak timber there. And then I have just a regular 2x4 that I'll put in front of that. There's one side. I'll attach the metal bracket to that 2x4. On the other side, same thing. Got that 2x4 in there, and you can see behind it the blocking I had to add to be flush with this board so that my new 2x4 would be in the right plane. Brackets in, you can see it there. Screwed there. Screwed over there. Here's the next problem. This is the outlet part where the duct goes and the power comes in there. And this is supposed to go up inside the hole like that and basically go right there, but it's supposed to go all the way over and the flange is supposed to be underneath the sheetrock. The problem is that this electrical box here is colliding with that piece of strapping right there. So I can't get that into position. So I need to go up and cut that piece of strapping out. There we are. I got that piece cut out. You can see that's missing now. And now this fits. No interference with the electrical box. And I've got it screwed into the bracket there. All right, it's in. So what you actually do is you slide this end up into that bracket that was there, and see these holes are oversized. And then you screw it through the bracket here, and there's this screw that holds the two pieces together. So that's all in. Got the electrical connector put back. So I think now the only thing to do is to wire it in and do the vent piping. Couple settings that I wanted to do just before I closed it. This right here sets the target airflow. This fan will sense the back pressure and increase or decrease the speed to achieve that airflow. So if you have a lot of bends or whatever in your exit duct, this will speed up appropriately. I left it at the factory setting of 80. There it is in the middle there, 80. I can always bump it up later if I need. The other thing is the humidity set point that you want the fan to turn on. I've got it at 50%. In the summertime, we may actually bump that up because we don't have air conditioning up here. I don't want the fan just running all the time. And then this is a timer for how long you want the fan to run after it stops sensing that humidity. So I've got it set at, I think, 10 minutes right now. And again, we may adjust that. There we are. Finished here on the inside. It looks fine. This is a motion sensor. So I guess it'll turn on when it senses motion. There it is. I had to just pop that in there. It just snaps in. And then the grill uses these wire things that slide up and down, so you can easily get this out if you need to. I've got the wire connected on the fan side. You can see it goes, I've got it into the box there. Just wire nutted to the wires that are in there. This is where I'm going to connect into in this outlet box. So I'm just going to feed this over. I got to cut this to length and we'll tie into the wires that are in there. There's the wire. Got it tied in with that box. Comes over and goes into the fan right there. So I'm going to go into the bathroom and see if it turns on. I thought, well, before I walk downstairs, let me just see what it's like up here. And I realized Okay, well that's open. And it's on. It's blowing right now. Which means that it's either greater than 50% humidity in the house, which is possible because it's raining. Or it's somebody was in there. But it makes literally no sound at all. It's very exciting. We're gonna probably have to adjust the humidity setting. It's not just running all the time. Alright, I got the vent hose attached. This is a temporary solution, but this is just one of those cheapo flex vent kits that attach there. It runs under this floor and is currently just right there. This fan has a pressure sensing feature, so when the back pressure increases with the vent, it speeds up, which it has quite a bit, and it's moving a lot of air right now. You can hear it now. Still very quiet though, so I think this is pretty great. Like I said, eventually, by eventually I mean like probably next weekend or something, I'm going to connect that vent over to the wall over here, but I just don't have what I need, and today it is very windy and snowing out, so I don't really want to be up on a ladder on the 3rd floor dealing with that. So we're going to come into the bathroom and test the motion sensing.
Daddy, I love you, Dada. I love you, Dada.
That works. You can definitely hear it a lot louder now that the vent is on.
Dada, I love you.
I'm back on the bathroom fan vent project. It's been a little while since I worked on this, but I've had this flex duct here just temporarily. But I'm working on getting the rigid ducting in. Kind of got it mocked up right here. It's going to go through the sidewall about where that paper is taped. It's gonna sit something like there, and I'm gonna have, you can see the fan is right there. I'm gonna have another elbow right there. It's not ideal having 2 elbows like that right coming out of the fan, but I think it'll be okay. Better than, I didn't want to have to run straight out, up, come back, and then go out the wall. I would have ended up with like 4 elbows. So I don't know. We're gonna do this, and if it doesn't work, then we can always change it. But the main thing is getting the hole cut in the wall so I can get my vent attached. I'll need to do some trimming on the outside. I've got this I've got this template here that shows me where to cut outside so that this thing will sit flat. But I'm going to do my hole first, get everything lined up, and then we'll go outside up on the ladder. Well, it's a little nerve-wracking cutting a huge hole in the side of your house, but there we are. And obviously the thing is going to go on the outside, but let's see. Okay, so it looks like I got to cut the pipe a little bit shorter. I don't know if you can see, it's sticking out. Yeah, you can't see, but it's sticking out a couple inches.
Can I say dig, 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 dig?
You can say dig, 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 sure. Just not in a kind of like startling, yelly way.
Like dig, dig, dig.
You can do that. That's fine.
Alright, hope I got all my stuff.
Goodness. How do you feel about this?
Fine. The trick is I just can't touch the wires. That's the...
Whoops.
Alright, good start.
Okay. I guess The moral of the story is just let anything fall if it is.
Mom, now to go find God.
Wow. I can't see. Okay, never mind.
We'll call that good. I'm going to put a screw in there. And then we're going to tape over it. I'm going to put a screw on the other side too. Just to keep it from pulling apart. Okay. I'll do the tape after. I just want to get this in place. You want to put the seam up, or more or less up. Okay, I guess that's in there. There. It is installed. A little challenging, but these joints are all taped. And it runs over here out the wall. What I wish I had put that last piece and taped it to the plastic like flange on the outside and then put it through and screwed that thing in. That would have made things easier, I think. It's going to be okay as it is, but you know, probably could have made it a little easier on myself. But I like that. I can insulate that. I don't have insulation right now, but that's just standard 4-inch duct insulation, so I'll wrap that so that we don't get too much condensation forming in here. And I think this project is done. Let's turn the fan on and make sure it works. Okay, the fan's running. I doubt you're going to be able to hear it. It is very, very quiet. Let's go check upstairs. Okay, up here, let's see. I don't feel any leaks. I can hear it running. Okay, let's go check outside. Well, there it is. Flap is open. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that. But I think this project is done, except for the insulation. I'll do that at a later date because I don't have it right now. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out.